Okay, so we can start just in a cross-legged seat. Get nice and comfortable. You can close down through the eyes or keep them open. We'll just start with some breathing first. So taking a deep breath in. And let it go. Sigh it out. Inhale, raise the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, drop them down the back. Few more. Take your time. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, right hand to left knee, left hand on the floor behind your back. Gentle twist. Looking back toward that left shoulder. And inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, left hand to right knee, right arm behind the back. Gentle twist. And bring it back to center. You can start by opening the legs out to a seated wide leg forward fold. So flex the feet. You can widen the legs if that's okay for you. If not, you can just bring them closer together. Just warming up the hamstrings. Reaching it right. And left. And keep moving right. And left. We'll be moving through a little warm up here, and then we'll start our flows. And then we'll have a little cool down by the end of class. Take breaks whenever you need to. And if something doesn't feel right, you can back out of that pose. Next time you bring it left, come back to center. We're gonna turn around on your mat if you're not already there. And place your feet on the mat in front of you. We're gonna gently rock back just onto the tailbone area and lift the legs. You can point the toes or straighten the legs, it's your choice. Hands can stay behind the thighs or open them out for your boat pose. Warming up through the abdominals here. Focus on the breath. If you feel that you're starting to shake, that's okay. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're gonna cross the legs and fold over into a tabletop. So setting up your tabletop, hips over knees and shoulders over wrists. Inhale for your cow. Drop the belly, lift the tailbone, gazes up. Exhale, rounding the spine for your cat. Flow with your breath. Inhaling for cow. Release the breath for your cat, rounding the spine, pressing out through the palms. Chin tucked into chest. Option to make it more dynamic when you come to your cat pose, pressing hips to heels. Inhale to scoop along the mat into your cow. Gently warming up the spine. One more flow through your cat-cow. When you pull it up into your cow pose with the tailbone lifted, begin to pull the left hip forward and look back toward your hip. Bring it center, pull that right hip forward, and look back. Center left, and center right. And center. You can take a neutral spine here. Roll out those wrists if you need to. Reset your tabletop. We'll extend through the left leg. Coming into our sunbird. So pressing out through the heel, flex the foot. So with your left leg extended, your right arm is going to extend. Full sunbird. Keep your core tight here as we open the arm out to the right and leg out to the left. And center. Two more open. And center. One more. And center. We're going to bend the leg and reach back for the foot. Kicking into the hand. Gentle back bend here. You can bring your gaze up the wall in front of you. Keep kicking. For 3, 2, and 1. And drop it down. We're going to tuck the toes, walk our hands back, and take a seat onto the heels with the toes tucked under, gently stretching through the feet. And roll out the wrists here. Give them a little break. When you're ready, walk the hands back out. Reset your tabletop. This time we'll extend the right leg behind us. Flex the foot, press out through the heel. Half sunbird. Take your full extension by reaching out that left arm. Inhale. Exhale, open left hand out, right leg out. Center. Two more, open it up. And last one. Center. Bend the knee. Reach back for the foot and kick into that hand. Try to bring that gaze up. Challenge your balance. And release. And bring that foot down. We're going to tuck the toes again. Walk the hands back to sit on the heels. Stretch out the feet one more time. This time we're going to reach the arms out to the sides, bring them up overhead. Grab a left wrist with right hand. Inhale, lift it up. And pull it over to the right. Center, switch hands. So grab the right hand with the left wrist. Inhale up and pull it over to the left. Little side body stretch here. And center. Shake it out, twist out the wrists. And walk it forward. You can tap out the toes if you need to. Now we'll start our flows here. So spread the fingers wide. We're going to tuck the toes and lift the hips, downward facing dog. Pedal out through the heels. Stretching out through the hamstrings. Press into the fingers and the palms to push the hips back. Release all effort through the head and neck, allowing it to just hang here. We'll ripple forward into a high plank. Holding here, 3, 2, and 1. Gently lower, nice and slow. Chin to the mat, untuck the toes. Inhale, baby cobra. Pulling up through the low back, nice and light on the hands or bring them to a hover. Gazes down at the mat. And lower. We'll tuck the toes, press into the hands, lift the hips, down dog. Look between your hands and walk it up into a forward fold. Fingertips reach down. Release through the head and neck. You can hang on your ragdoll here, grabbing opposite elbow and opposite hand, and sway side to side. Release the fingertips, bend through the knees. Reverse swan dive all the way up. Palms touch overhead, optional back bend. Hands down to heart. Inhale. And exhale. Release the hands, come down to a mountain pose. Slight bend in the knees, feet hip width apart. Tailbone tucked under. Roll the shoulders forward and drop them back. Big breath in. And out. You can grab a drink of water here if you like, or just take a breath here. When you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Palms touch, optional back bend. Exhale down through a forward fold. Fingertips to the mat. Left foot lifts high and back. We're going to drop the knee, untuck the toes. Press the hips forward. You want the knee stacked over ankle. Arms reach up for a low lunge. Bring the gaze up for a slight back bend here. Challenge the balance. We're going to open the arms out to the right. Straight up. And open them left. And up. Keeping the hands lifted, we're going to tuck the back toe and lift it up to a high lunge. Again, open the arms out to the right. Center. And left. And center. Bring the hands down to frame the right foot. Press into the palms. Right foot comes back to meet left. Down dog. We'll take a flow here. Ripple forward, high plank. Lower down with control. Untuck the toes. Come to your baby cobra. Or gently press into the hands, lifting the upper body. Pelvis stays on the mat. Slight bend in the elbows for king cobra. Exhale and lower down. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Look between the hands and walk it up. Forward fold. Release through the upper body. We'll roll up one vertebrae at a time. Nice and slow. Your head is the last to rise. And roll the shoulders forward, drop them back. Take a breath or grab a drink here. When you're ready, we'll take another flow. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, palms touch, optional back bend. Exhale, hands through heart center, bowing forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, hands press into the shins or face each other. Exhale, forward fold. This time, right foot steps high and back. Drop the knee, untuck the toes, taking a low lunge. So that left knee is stacked over left ankle. Arms reach up. Open the arms to the left. Center. And right. Center. We're going to tuck the toes here and lift up to a high lunge. Bring the gaze up, challenge the balance for a breath. And then we'll open it left. Center. And right. Center. Bring those arms down to frame that left foot. Press into the palms. Left foot comes back to meet right. Down dog. Hips are high. You can pedal it out through the heels. We're gonna lift up that right foot, three-legged dog. We'll bend the knee and open up the hips. Square off the hips here. Extend the leg, look between the hands, and pull right foot between the hands at the front of your mat. Reaching the hands up for a high crescent lunge. Make sure that knee is stacked over ankle and shoulders are dropped down the back. Bring the gaze up. We'll lower the hands to frame the foot. Palms press down, right foot comes back to meet left, down dog. This time we're gonna scoop up that left foot. We're gonna bend the knees, stack the hips. Open up the hips here. Look between the hands, square them off. Pull forward that left foot right between the hands. You can use your hand to get it there if you need to. Bring the arms up for a high crescent lunge. Lots of energy through the fingertips. Feel them reaching up. Big breath in. And let it go. We'll lower the hands down to frame left foot. Bring it back. Down dog. Walk the hands back all the way to your feet at the back of the mat into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. And fold. Reverse swan dive all the way up. Palms touch overhead. Hands come through heart. Inhale. Exhale. Sigh it out, let it go. Release the hands, take a mountain pose or grab a drink. When you're ready, meet at the back of the mat. We're going to take a step forward with the right foot. Drop the left heel. The left toes are going to face the upper left corner of your mat. And we're going to bend in as far as you can to the right foot. If your knee passes the ankle, wiggle your toes up a little further. You want those hips to be square to the front of your mat. Arms reach up for warrior one. Release the shoulder blades down the back. You should feel a stretch down the back of your left leg. If you don't feel it, you need to widen your stance. We'll open the arms out. Heel toe left foot back a few steps and turn the toes out. We'll take a warrior two. Knees stacked over ankle. Shoulders stacked right over hips. You're not leaned forward, you're right on top. And look toward right fingertips. We're going to flip the right palm toward the ceiling. Left arm can come behind the back or just down the thigh. Right arm up overhead for your peaceful warrior. Keep that deep bend in right knee. Open it up. Warrior two. We're gonna straighten right leg, flip the palms to the side of the room. Reach over right without moving our legs, just reaching over. Swing right arm down, left arm comes straight up for a triangle pose. Bring your gaze up to the left fingertips. Back to a warrior two. We're gonna flow between those two poses. So bring it back to your peaceful warrior. Flip the palm, left hand behind the back, looking up. You have a little bit of a back bend here. Warrior two. Straighten the leg, flip the palms. Swing it forward to your triangle. Warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Warrior two. Straight leg triangle. One more. Warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Try to bend it back a little more. Bring that gaze up to the ceiling or over to the fingertips. Warrior two. And triangle. Warrior two. We're gonna straighten that foot. Turn the right toes so they're parallel with left. Option to turn them out slightly if that feels good on your hamstrings, your choice. You can widen the feet if you like. Hands stay on the hips. Looking up toward the ceiling, little back bend here. And folding down, wide leg forward fold. You can drop the fingertips right under the shoulders. Keep a flat back here. And take a few breaths. Find out where you want to put your feet. You can wiggle them out. You can turn the toes out. When you're ready, start to round the back. Crown of the head coming down toward your mat. You can grab onto those ankles if you like. Walk the hands back under the shoulders. Slight bend through the knees and bring one hand at a time up to the hips. Press it up. We're just gonna rotate here. So left toes forward. We're gonna wiggle the right foot back a little forward. So forward but backwards up your mat. Turn the right toes toward the upper right corner of your mat. And lunge into left leg, knee over ankle, arms reach out. Warrior one. You can open the arms out. Heel toe right foot back a little bit. Turn the toes out. You want to try to line up the heels here. So just kind of eyeball it where they would line up. Lunging into left leg, shoulders stacked over hips. Look toward left fingertips. We're gonna flip left palm. Right hand comes down the thigh or behind the back. Come into your peaceful warrior. Left hand coming over the head. Slight back bend here. Warrior two. We're gonna flip the palms, straighten that left leg. Reach it left. Swing left arm down, right arm up for a triangle. Look up toward the right thumb here. We'll come back, warrior two. We're gonna flow through that 3 times. Peaceful warrior. Warrior two. Triangle. Warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Triangle. Looking up toward the right thumb. Last time, come back to your warrior two. Lunging into left leg. Lift the palm, peaceful warrior. Warrior two, straighten the leg, flip the palms. Reach it left, triangle pose. Press the left hand into left leg like you're leaning against a wall. And warrior two. We're gonna straighten that leg. Turn the toes parallel. Your hands come to your hips. We're gonna heel toe the feet about hip width apart. We'll be coming to a garland squat. So if you know that you need to move the heels a little further apart, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to try to challenge yourself, bring them closer. Hands come to chest, thumbs press into the sternum. And you can begin to squat all the way down. You're gonna press those elbows out into the knees. Tailbone tucks under and press the elbows out. Try to keep a flat back here. It can be challenging to do. If you don't get there, that's okay. You should feel this in the shins, maybe even in the ankles. Holding for 5 breaths. When you're ready, if you're not sideways on your mat, try to turn around in the middle of your mat. We're gonna walk the hands out, spread the fingers wide, and bring the hips up, down dog. You can lift up the right foot, roll out through the ankle. Maybe extend it, three-legged dog. Roll out the ankle while your foot's extended. And go ahead and bend the knee and roll it through the hip. And switch directions. And lower the foot. Pedal it out. Let's roll out through left ankle. Extend. And then roll out through the hip. Doing some circles here. Switch directions. And lower. Pedal it out. Make sure those fingers are spread wide as you ripple forward, high plank. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower nice and slow. Untuck the toes. Inhale, baby cobra. Or press it up to a king cobra. Lower down. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Walk the feet up to the hands. Forward fold. Wiggle the feet so they're a little more than hip width apart. You can put 2 fists together and measure that way, putting them between the feet. We're gonna bend the knees, reach the arms forward, coming into a chair pose. Tuck the tailbone, squat a little lower. Bring the hands up overhead. We'll hold for 10. Squat lower, 9, 8, 7, squat lower, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up, forward fold. Take your ragdoll, rubbing opposite elbow with opposite hand, and sway side to side. Release through the fingertips, rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. Roll the shoulders forward and drop them back. Mountain pose. Slight bend in the knees, tailbone tucks under, hands face forward. Take a breath here or grab some water. When you're ready, come to the back of your mat. We'll take 3 breaths here in a mountain. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to take a step forward with the right foot whenever you're ready. We're going to drop the left heel and the left toes are going to face the upper left corner of the mat. We're gonna square off the hips, so make sure that the stance isn't as wide as your warrior one, it's a little closer. We'll be coming into a pyramid pose. So hands on the hips, square to the front of the mat. Keeping a flat back here, pull the shoulders back, chest forward. With those legs straight, let's begin to fold forward. So flat back, about halfway lift here. Go ahead and drop the hands onto the shin, nice and light. If you do by chance have two blocks, you can place them here and balance on them there, on either side of the right foot. A nice flat back here. You should feel a stretch down the back of the right leg through that right hamstring. If you need to keep the hands on the hips to make sure they're squared forward, go ahead. And keep pulling that chest forward, shoulders back. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna come light on the left foot and spring forward on the right. So you might have to come up a bit. We'll come into our airplane pose, so extending the arms out to the sides, balancing. Point the left toes. All the weight is on right standing leg. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Step it back. Hands on the hips. Right foot comes back to meet left. Take a breath. This time we'll take a step forward with the left foot, about mid-mat. The right toes are going to point toward the upper right corner of the mat. Hands on the hips, square those hips forward. And begin to pull the chest forward, pulling the shoulders back. Coming into our pyramid pose. You should feel a nice stretch down the left hamstring. Keep your flat back. Hands can stay on the hips or bring them down to the shin. Nice and light, we're not putting a bunch of weight into the shin. Make sure that right hip is pulling forward and left is pulling back to keep us squared. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to come up a little bit, putting the weight onto the left foot. Hands can come out or come to the hips. Come light on the right toes as you spring forward. Putting all the weight onto the left leg. Arms can reach out for balance. Airplane pose. Point the back toes. Find a focal point to help you with your balance. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. Step it back, all the way to the back of the mat. One more flow. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Palms touch, optional back bend. Exhale, hands come through heart as you bow forward, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Walk the fingers out. Downward facing dog, hips are high. We'll ripple forward, high plank. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale down. We're gonna press back to a tabletop. Open the knees wide to the outside edges of the mat, big toes touch. Take a seat back on your heels and walk it down to a child's pose. Forehead comes to the mat. We'll take a few breaths here, releasing into your child's pose. We'll take 5 more breaths in our child's pose. When you're ready, gently peel your forehead off the mat. Lift the head and begin to walk the hands back. Make your way into lying on your back on your mat. So just coming down onto your back. The feet can be about hip width apart. We'll drop the knees left and right. Back through center, drop them left and right. Few more windshield wipers here. Releasing some tension through the low back. Next time you come through center, we're gonna open the arms out to a T. Walk the feet in as close as you can. We're gonna lift the hips and drop them over to the right side of the mat. Pull the knees in, lower them left. Taking a reclined twist, your gaze is over to the right side of the room. You can close down through the eyes here. Three more breaths on this side. When you're ready, we're going to pull the knees to center. Keep the T position of the arms. Walk the feet in as close as you can. We're going to lift the hips up, drop them to the left of the mat. Pull the knees in, lower them right. Twisting the other way, looking toward the left hand or left side of the room. Enjoying the nice twist through your spine as it aids in digestion. Take about 5 more breaths on this side. When you feel ready, then pull those knees to center. Straighten up through the spine. Bring the soles of the feet together here. We're going to drop the knees out to come into a reclined butterfly. If you need some support, you can tuck pillows under your knees. You can always pull the feet further away from you. If you need to ease off, if you want more of a challenge, bring them closer toward you. Hands can rest on your belly, up to the sides, or grab opposite elbow with opposite hand up overhead, framing your face. Holding for a few more seconds. You can bring the knees together and release the legs down the mat. Coming into your final resting pose. Make yourself comfortable here. Tucking your shoulder blades under your back. Whatever you need to do to get comfortable. Take an inhale to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale your count of 5. Exhale your count of 5. Come to your natural breath. and just notice the benefits of your practice that you feel. Taking as long as you need to today on your mat right here. Hope you had an excellent practice, and I hope to see you next week. Namaste.